Hello, friends and neighbors. Good evening and welcome to the Tuesday Night Live show for February 22nd, 2022. That's 2'S. That's correct, Tuesday. Tonight's special guest is Santa Lee Penberthy, who will be joining us tonight from Missouri. So everyone, please stay with us. We have a great show lined up for you, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. I'm Santa Bob McMasters, and we are so excited to be here with you tonight. Please give a warm welcome to my co-host, Mr. Santa Barry Cummins. I get it out right this time.
Welcome. Glad to be with you here on a stormy night in Alabama. Actually, our tornado sirens just went off, but I checked the radar, and I think we're good.
Well, good. Also, Elf Angela says hello to everyone tonight. I hope that we are able to talk without having trouble. I hope that's not a sign of what's to come here. All right, guys. So, here we are, season 2, week 7 of the Tuesday Night Live show, and we have not been disappointed yet. We have had some fantastic, phenomenal guests, great content. Thank you for spending your Tuesday nights with us, and we are honored to have you always. And we will always strive to have quality guests that can help you learn and grow as professional entertainers. Tonight's guest is, as Barry likes to say, he may be little in stature, but has the heart of a giant. And that is so true. Please help us out because Tuesday Night Live show is and always will be free. And we want to talk about Spangles promotion real quick before we go on. Remember to like, share, and comment. Now, the comment portion is going to be very important. If you like and share, put your name in our comment box saying that I did all 3 or I did share, however you want to put it. Just make a note in the comment boxes for us, please. That's how we're going to enter your name into the hat for the drawings. There's no way of telling how something is shared if it's not shared in public. Don't everyone share stuff publicly. So please just put your name into the comment box. Over to you, Barry.
All right, everyone. First, reach up there. Like Bob said, give us a like and share. It helps build the viewership of the show. And like he said, if you do comment and share the stream, Spangles got a special offer that's starting tonight for the next 6 weeks. Your name goes in the hat for a drawing for a free scholarship to the School of Santas. But anyway, the Tuesday Night Live trivia question is sponsored by Derek Dugan, Sleigh Driver Apparel Company. Thank you, Derek, for your sponsorship of this question. All right, tonight's category is movie trivia again. In the movie Home Alone, where are the McAllisters going on vacation when they leave Kevin behind? In Home Alone, where are the McAllisters going on vacation when they leave Kevin behind? And the winner of the trivia question will be announced at the end of the show because we're having some issues with internet speed being time stamped on the winners, and we'll be able to determine that at the end of the show.
That's right. Go ahead and play along. Get your answers in now. and we'll decipher who actually has the answer correct first. Elf Angela will do that towards the end of the show, and we'll be sure and tell everyone the winners of both trivia questions tonight.
That's right. And I do think I see in the feed one of them has the correct answer there.
Okay, we'll have to wait and see, make sure that was the first one. Again, it's all due to the fact of internet lag, and we don't want to misjudge who might have won it. And everything that comes into our feed is time stamped, so we'll be able to tell.
Absolutely. All right, let's go ahead and welcome tonight's guest. He joins us from Russellville, Missouri. He's entertained as an elf and as Santa, but feels a real connection portraying as Santa. He's found comfort in his Christian faith, which has helped him considerably. Please give a warm Tuesday night live welcome to Santa Lee Penberthy. Welcome, Lee.
Hi, Santa Barry. Good to see you. Santa Bob, I am pleased to be here. And hello to everyone who is watching. I am very happy to be here. Santa Barry, stay safe.
Will do, man.
All right, so let's move along. Lee, welcome, brother, to the show, and we're really honored to have you here. You have a great story. We want to get it out there for everyone to get to know you better, and I think everyone's going to fall in love with you the same as we have. Let's start off getting to know the personal side of Santa Lee. Your love for Christmas and Santa Claus began very early. Like with most young children, it all started with the getting presents and writing up long wish lists to send to Santa. As you got older, though, you said you found yourself starting to love Christmas for all the other reasons. Lee, can you share with us what some of those reasons are?
Yes, I can. Let's see. Well, whenever I was growing up, it did start out with the writing up Christmas lists and wanting presents because, well, what child's not going to love a holiday where you get presents, right? I mean, but as I did get older, I began to love like all the other things that go with Christmas. Like I began to love decorating the tree. When I was growing up, we would get we started out with like a fake Christmas tree, and really it was fun putting it together. It was like one of those, it comes in big pieces. So we had to put it together. It was like a fun puzzle.
Right.
And then we would decorate it, which is always fun. So decorating the tree has become a very fun part of Christmas to me. And I also enjoy wrapping presents. Wrapping presents is about as fun as opening presents. It's a challenge. Wrapping presents is a challenge because you got to make sure it's wrapped perfectly. Make sure the paper's the right length, aligning the while you're wrapping up, and then actually wrapping it up with the tape and all. It's a challenge, and who doesn't love a good challenge, right?
Exactly.
And then there's baking, which I helped my mom out a lot with at Christmas because we bake cookies, we bake cake, lots of other treats. And then one of my all-time favorite Christmas things is watching Christmas movies on TV, Christmas specials. Like my mom and me, we are big Hallmark fans because that company that they make all sorts of Hallmark movies, Christmas movies, and all kinds of other movies like on Disney Channel, on Netflix. Like recently, Netflix has been bringing out good Christmas movies. Christmas Chronicles, Klaus, The Boy Called Christmas, The Claus Family that came out last year. It's a foreign movie, so some of us may not be fully. I wouldn't be surprised if some of us haven't seen it yet, but it's out there. And there's a lot. I have seen probably almost every Christmas movie out there. I haven't seen every single one, but I have seen more than a considerable number. I can tell you that. If you name a Christmas movie, then there's a good chance that I have seen it. And I love decorating the house. One thing that's kind of got me into that is how they have that great Christmas light fight on TV. How all those people work hard to decorate their houses, and seeing how they do that, it's what pushes me to do. It's what's pushed me to decorate the house in a big way, and it's fun because you get all sorts of ideas on what you could do. Like you could add what you can add, how many you could put as many lights as you want to up, and until like it's suddenly this big Christmas wonderland. So decorating the house has become another favorite tradition of mine. And I'm going to say this because, and of course now, otherwise I wouldn't be on the show. Christmas is a fun time for me because that's when I can be Santa Claus. I get to be Santa Claus because I wait all year for it. Sometimes I'll put my Santa Claus suit on for no reason, just to feel like that. And then for Christmas to come around, I'll put it on, and this time I know I'm going to go out there. I'm going to be seen. I'm going out there as Santa Claus at this time at Christmas. And so, yes, so when I was younger, Christmas was more for writing wish lists and getting presents for me. But since then, I have grown to love Christmas for all the other reasons. And
it's so much more for you.
Yes, and I'm going to put this in there because I want it to be known that I enjoy Christmas because it is a time to help others who are in need, a time for where people really truly open their hearts. Not that they don't throughout the rest of the year, but at Christmas is a very special time for where they do it. And I'm one of those people and I enjoy it because it gives you many more opportunities to be a person to give to those who are in need.
Exactly. That brings me to something that before the show, leading up to the show, you and I and Barry were talking, and you mentioned that, your true Santa blood shows because you love cookies so much. What's your favorite cookie? Do you have a favorite?
I would have to say sugar cookies are some of what I eat the most. My second best are Chips Ahoy chocolate chip cookies because they're like, it's a cookie I like. It's a cookie that I like. I'm just going to say that. But sugar cookies, they're more. I don't know what the word is to describe, but it's a cookie that has that special taste. Not that other cookies don't have that special taste, because yeah. But I will tell you that I can tell you that my least favorite cookie. Sorry for any of Santas out there who are against this, but it's the truth. On my opinion, I do not like cookies that have peanuts or nuts. Sorry, but I'm not a nut guy. If I was offered a cookie while I'm Santa that had like a peanut or an almond or something in it, I would take it because Santa's not going to turn down a cookie. But
right.
To me, I'm not a guy who eats cookies that have nuts.
Yeah, for me, it's the sprinkles. I don't like sprinkles. I'm going to ask you a question that I ask at the mall quite often when children bring up Oreos. Do you take them apart and lick the cream filling out of them?
You're asking me?
Yes.
Okay. I would not do that because I would probably do that in some cases, but mostly I wouldn't, because if I do that, then it's not going to taste the same. Because if I eat the frosting first, then I eat the outer part, because there's nothing left to enjoy. Because it's like when it's together, then it's like a Christmas present. Like you unwrap it and there's a toy, but then what are you going? But then there's no more meaning left in the paper. And I mean, like if you have a Christmas present and you open it, the outer part is the cookie shell, the wrapping, and the inside, the present that's inside, is the cream filling. And if you open the present and you take out the cream filling, then there you have it. But then the outer cookie, it's not really, it's meaningless. You care more about the frosting than you do the cookie. But when you have the whole thing together, then it's what makes it more special if you eat it whole.
That's true. Now, for me, though, I take the chocolate cookie that's left over after I eat the cream out of it, and I'm a dipper, so I dip it in my milk and soften it up. But that's a whole nother subject. All right, so let's move on right here. Barry, did you have any follow-up on that?
No, I didn't.
Okay, let's move along here, Lee. It wasn't until
Okay.
several years ago that you truly began to embrace the real meaning of the holiday, which is remembering the birth of Jesus Christ. Tell us how your relationship with Christ has helped you with your severe anxieties. And that's just something that you have kind of struggled with at times. So we wanted to kind of bring it to the forefront and see how Christ has helped you.
Well, the way my anxiety started out was when I was in school, and at first it was focused more on one thing: tornadoes. Santa Barry, this isn't anything related to what's going on for you, so sorry, but it's true. When I was in school, and like, I think it was I was either in second or third grade, and I was at school, and suddenly the tornado siren went out. And at first I wasn't sure if it was a test, but then I heard that it was actually a warning. So we all headed down to the library. The library is under the ground. It's where you would call the basement.
Yeah.
That's where we went. And it wasn't we weren't hit by a tornado. I think it was a false alarm that they mistook, because tornado warnings can be mistaken a lot for our tornado watches sometimes are mistaken for tornado warnings, and that's what this was, I think.
Yeah.
And so, but after that was my tornado fear developed. It's my tornado my tornado fear. That's my first fear was tornadoes, and I'm sorry. I'm repeating myself. I'm sorry.
You're okay. You're okay.
Okay, I'm just going to say it one more time. My anxiety started with tornadoes, and after that, I began worrying about other things, like problems going on in the world, climate change, because that's a growing problem, of course. War, because our world's not perfect.
No.
And so I went and talked to my pastor, because my mom, I was dealing with a problem at a time, and she suggested I go talk to my pastor. Great guy. And he kind of talked to me. He said how God loves you. He's always going to be there for you. He'll protect you no matter what. And up till that moment, I really wasn't paying much attention in church because of my anxiety. I mean, like, I wasn't against Christ or anything. I was nothing like that. It's just I wasn't really focusing much on what I was hearing in church.
Yeah.
But then I went and started talking to my pastor. And after that is when I kind of started paying more attention. And then I grew more and more interested in my religion and in my Christian faith. And that's when I kind of opened myself up to the true meaning of Christmas. I learned about the nativity. I read about the Bible stories like Noah, Moses, Joseph, and the Coat of Many Colors. I read all those books, and that's what led me to the Christmas story, because I'm Santa Claus. So that's what my focus was turned on. And since that time, I have been growing more and more devoted to my Christian faith, because anytime I have a problem, anytime I've been in a moment of scare, I've prayed to God, and He's delivered, because I could feel Him. Because one time, I'm going to share this. There was one time when another tornado warning came out. Well, it wasn't a warning. It was more like they were predicting there may be a possible tornado. This was like a year or so ago. And what I did was I prayed to God. I said, God, please, if you can, weaken the storm that is headed this way. And that's what I did. And I kept looking at the radar maps that they were showing. And I saw how the storm that they were talking about that could produce a tornado had weakened. And this was after I had prayed. I even brought this up to my pastor, who then brought it up in church. And so that's further proof to me that God is watching over me. So,
I wanted to bring up something. Now, you said when you was younger, you wasn't too comfortable being around Santa Claus, mainly because, you were just too shy. Tell us about the Polar Express Kids event and how that changed everything for you.
Okay, well, okay. When I say I wasn't comfortable about being around Santa Claus, I wasn't like a kid who would cry or scream. I don't recall myself ever doing that personally. What I would basically do is just hang my head and just like stand there like a statue if I was ever near him. But I still loved. I still wasn't. I was crazy about Santa Claus, even though I wasn't comfortable about being around him. So what happened was my mom worked at this place for children with special needs, like they weren't they had problems mentally, some physically. And this one year at Christmas they were having this this Christmas party, Polar Express themed, and I wanted to be Santa Claus, and so we got me a costume, and what I did basically was hand out tickets. But what happened that helped me get out of my fear of being Santa Claus was I learned that there was another Santa Claus there, and and I was curious as to how he looked compared to me because I wanted to see how he looked. And so I went and saw him from a distance, and he had a fake white beard and fake boot covers, like those things that you put over regular shoes to look like Santa boots. And my mom told me that, and what my mom did was at a point she told me his name, the guy who was being the other Santa. She told me his name, and it was kind of an introducing. So like, and knowing that he was another person, not Santa Claus, kind of made it a little better for me because I knew it was somebody who I was meeting somebody else. I was meeting a person who I knew their name. I knew that they weren't Santa Claus, Santa Claus. So I went up to him. My mom was with me. She introduced us. And he talked to me, and we talked, and I felt comfortable. And we even got some pictures. So it was after that, for a few years, I dressed more as like an elf because of my stature. Uh, I became an elf, and I worked at a special learning center a few times with the same Santa Claus. And we grew a bond. We became friends for a while, and I grew more comfortable. And he was the first Santa who I felt comfortable around being comfortable around. And after that, I think the next Santa Claus I met was somebody who my mom had met too before me, and she introduced like before she introduced us, and I felt comfortable then. And after those couple visits, I felt more comfortable. I think I needed to meet a couple more in a more formal way in order to better handle being in the presence of Santa Claus of Santa Claus.
Right. Okay, so let's move along to the next question. What Christmas scent or smell instantly takes you back to your childhood? Is there anything particular?
Yes, there are, and it's kind of weird if you think about it. There's two scents that come to mind, and they're gonna sound weird, but it's what reminds me of Christmas.
Right.
So it reminds me of Christmas. So I'm just gonna say it. You can hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, first off, you know how like every year at Christmas, like your mom or your dad, your grandmother, your grandpa, your aunt or uncle, they make a special dish, a special once a year dish of food that they don't make it no other time of the year, but at Christmas.
Right.
Like, well, my mom, she made this buffalo chicken dip, this kind of dip for chips, and she only made it during the winter. And for me, whenever I think of winter, I think of Christmas. And that's when she only made that dish. And every time I smelt it, it reminded me of Christmas. I never ate it myself. I'm a picky eater a lot, but the smell of it always reminded me that Christmas was coming because she always made it around that time.
Right.
And the second scent, this one's even weirder. Okay, so I'm going to kind of start out like this. You know, in the spring and summer, you'd call yourself crazy if you had the heat up in your house. You would call yourself crazy to have the heat up in spring or summer, right? Because
Right.
well, for me in the winter, whenever you turn the heat up the first time, you can smell the heat. You smell it. It's warm. You notice it through the cold, through the air. The second you turn it up in the winter, I smell it. That's the other smell that reminds me of Christmas for me. The first smell of the heat through the cold air. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. It sure does. Barry?
Yeah, Lee, your first Santa Claus suit was made by your late grandmother, Josephine, when you was a toddler. Can you tell us about that? And also tell us about your suits that your mother, Melinda, helped you make for the Polar Express kids events and those suits that's followed since then.
For my grandmother's suit, I can do you one better. I have it right here with me. This suit right here was made by her. This jacket right here was made by my grandmother, Josephine Nolte. God rest her soul. This jacket, this hat, it has a white tassel, not the pom-pom, and these pants. This is made of flannel fabric, which you guys already know.
Uh-huh.
And it was made as a gift for me. She made me a white beard out of yarn, but at the time it didn't fit me, so my focus was more on the suit. And really, I was a lot younger at the time, so I really didn't pay attention to them all that much. But it was my first Santa suit, and the Polar Express suit that I wore for the Polar Express event. Whenever I got the job, my mom, what we did was we got a child's red bathrobe, and we got some white duct tape, like not the see-through stuff, the fixed stuff. And we got some of that. We got a men's dress belt that you wear on pants, like work pants. And I got a pair of brown furry snow boots. And the hat, this hat that I am wearing, it's a velvet professional Santa hat. I wore it, and with that, I had my own representation of the Polar Express Santa suit. I used that suit for a short time, and then after that, the next suit that I got was this plush one. You know, like if you're a Santa who needs a suit at the last minute, and you go to like Party City, and they have these plush suits. You know, like they don't have like zippers. They don't have like buttons. They only have like a button on the back of the collar. And you just pull over like a shirt. It was one of those suits, and that's what I wore for a while after that. After my Polar Express suit, it was cheap, but it worked for me because it was made my size. Because at the time I didn't have a custom made Santa suit. Excuse me. That was my main suit at the time, and for a while that was the suit. I said that already. But after that, my next Santa Claus suit was made by a local woman who had made a Santa Claus suit for this one Santa I had met. He was the one who actually referred me to her. And the suit that she made for me there was made of she made it for me from this crushed satin. This crushed satin. It was Coca-Cola style. It had the white collar, and it had the buttons where I could throw it on like an actual Santa jacket. And it had pants, and it had a hat. So that was my next suit, and what I considered my first professional Santa Claus suit. And then after that, I asked her if she would make me another suit that next year, I think. Yeah, it was that next year. And this suit was different because instead of crushed satin, I had her make it from fake wool, which I felt was a step further to being more authentic. because for Santa Claus, he needs to be protected from the cold. He's going to probably wear something thick like wool. And the other differences were that this one had buttons, but it also had the fur trimmed down the front, like traditional. It had the fur trimmed down the front and on buttons closely on the side. And it had fur on the cuffs, the boot cuffs. That some of the other suit didn't have. So that was my suit. That was my next suit after that one. And it's been my main suit right now it's been my main suit. And I've gotten other suits too, like Kurt Russell. He's become a popular Santa, especially for the suit that was designed for him. And I have, I not last year, but the year before, I was given a Christmas present, and that was my own Kurt Russell Santa Claus style suit. And it had everything: a vest, the coat, the belt, the pants, the hat, everything, including a beard. But and also I kind of threw this in there because it was the movie that it was in it was considered the Santa Claus suit for it. It was considered the Santa Claus suit for the movie. This one movie called Fat Man, starring Mel Gibson. And the coat that he wore, it wasn't even a Santa Claus jacket. It was more like a parka, an aviator, the parka of an aviator. And, well, they had their own replicas out online. And I decided to get one because I was never going to wear it as a Santa Claus suit. I was never going to wear it. But it was something that was designed to look like a Santa suit. And I was never going to wear it as a Santa suit. But I was going to wear it as like my winter jacket. My winter jacket to make me feel more like Santa Claus. I'm sorry. This is sounding weird. I'm sorry if this is sounding weird. Is this sounding weird, guys?
No.
No, it's okay.
Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to speed on. Okay.
We was talking earlier in last December while you was working your job, you had on a all white Santa hat, and you said that you heard somebody holler "Santa, Santa" behind you. Can you tell us what happened and how cool that must have been for you and the feeling that you had?
I can do that. So I work at a grocery store, and I was busy stocking some shelves of mayonnaise, and like you said, I had on my head a plus white Santa hat, and I had nothing else on that would give off me being Santa. I had no beard, no fake beard, no red suit on, just my regular work clothes and the hat. And as I was stocking the shelves, I suddenly heard this little voice say, "It's Santa, Mommy, it's Santa." And I turn around, and there's this woman coming down the aisle with her little boy in the shopping cart, and he's looking at me, and I just smile because I know he thinks I'm Santa, and she says, and the mom says, "I'm sorry, he thinks you're Santa." And she looks at her boy as they're moving down the aisle past me. Sweetie, that's not Santa. He's not Santa. And as they're going on down, the boy is still looking at me. Even the mom's not. The boy's looking at me. And what I do is like I raise my finger to my lips, like, and I'm not 100% sure, but I think I'm fairly certain that I heard him gasp, like, and in that moment, it brought me back. I felt excited because I was thinking to myself that there was this one commercial I had seen of a Santa who did the exact same thing, where he had an experience just like I did. And as soon as I had done that, it made me think of that commercial because it was a commercial I was very fond of. I couldn't stop thinking about it. And I said, I had just had my own moment similar to that commercial. So that's what was going through my mind.
That's a cool story, Lee. I love that. Stay with us right here. Don't go anywhere. It's time for us to take a short breather here, give you a chance to rest for just a second. Because it is that time in the Tuesday Night Live show to bring out our special product announcements. So stay with us.
Okay.
Okay, so showstopper special tonight for Tuesday Night Live. Normally we have Spangle. Spangle is out on the road this week and weeks to come with his mobile vendors trailer. He was supposed to be on the show tonight. He hasn't shown up, so I happen to know what the showstopper special is, so I'll do it. This week's showstopper special, Spangle has the gold and black Santa buckle. Is similar to the one he showed last week that we had on the show that had the sleigh on it. This one says Santa. It's the gold and black. Same deal as last week. Normally $50 on the website with $8 shipping. And this week, $30 and free shipping. That is good through February 28th, which will be next Monday. So if you're interested in getting one of those between now and next Monday, reach out to Spangle, tell him you saw it here on the Tuesday Night Live show, and get you one. I don't have one with me. Spangle was going to show everyone, but again, for one reason or another, I don't know if it's the storms or what, he hasn't been able to get in with us. So at this point, we're going to move on to the next thing. Go ahead, Angie.
You are watching the Tuesday Night Live show with Bob Berry and Angela. Sponsored by StuffForSanta.com and SchoolOfSantas.com, where you can find everything you need to support your Santa and Mrs. Claus business. Remember, if Spangle ain't got it, it doesn't exist. So contact Spangle at StuffForSanta.com today. Now back to the show.
So at this point, we're going to jump in and do the StuffForSanta.com trivia, and right after this. All right, guys, this trivia question here is sponsored by StuffForSanta.com, SchoolOfSantas.com. And just like on our first trivia question, go ahead and put your answers in, and we will announce the winner at the end of the show. Which fairy tale was the first gingerbread houses inspired by? Which fairy tale was the first gingerbread houses inspired by? And most of us all grew up with fairy tales, so this should be something that everyone should know fairly easily. And
we'll announce the winners at the end of the program who won the trivia questions.
That's correct. So at this point, we're going to move on along while you guys put your answers in. So over to you, Barry.
All right, Lee, let's get back to talking a little bit. Tell us about the past 2 years where you and your mom have started doing a toy giveaway in your community, and share with us the story and the name y'all been thinking of using going forward for that.
Okay, well, we originally started out because of COVID, the pandemic, because it was in 2020. It was in 2020, and that's when everything was so bad, and people were having hard times getting things. Toys. People were having a hard time getting toys, and I remember them reading a story of how because of they couldn't get toys, and they were worried they were going to have low supplies of the toys that they were going to be handing out. I mean, selling in stores. They were not going to have enough. And well, the idea we got was we would collect toys. We would collect whatever toys we could, like toys for stores, like good. We kept our eyes out on good deals, and we collected, and people donated toys. They donated toys. And what we did was we reached out to some people, like our church family, friends, their families, and they came by, and it was such a big success. I dressed up as Santa Claus. I had a chair that I sat down in, in front of the house, and people came and we gave each child a toy. And another reason why we did it was because our community, the community we live in, was so nice. Is so nice. They are always there for us. They're so thoughtful, and it was just our way of giving back to them because they've always been there for us. And it was such a big success that we decided we would do it again last year. And we better planned. We were able to plan better because it was hectic the first year, but last year was easier. And more kids came than the year before. And well, it was last year that I decided I wanted us to try and make it an annual thing, like, so that way we do it next year and the year after that with hopefully more kids coming, more than the year before. And the idea of the name that I thought of was the Little Santa Big Heart Toy Giveaway of Russellville, Missouri. And it was a success again. That last year's toy giveaway was a success. It was hectic, but a success. And we are definitely looking at doing it again.
That's a great name, Lee.
Yep.
Yeah, I love that. I agree. So, Lee, let's move on to the 2021 season, which was this last year, of course. Saw many new firsts for you. Can you kind of give us a little bit of a rundown of all the really cool things that you was blessed with this last year? I know you had listed several.
I can. Well, first off, the big firsts were I did my very first nursing home visit and my very first my first nursing home visit and my first my first nursing home visit, and I did my first nursing home visit and my first home visit, my very first home visit. The home visit was for a church friend of ours who had all these little kids, grandkids, and I went and I brought with me these little dolls that I had made myself out of socks. And I gave each little girl there a toy, and I did the same thing for the nursing home residents, which they loved very, very much. So, speaking in places, I did my very first nursing home and my very first home visit, and I gave each person there one of a gift that I had made myself. So, yeah. And
Also,
I'm sorry.
I was just going to lead you into the next thing. There was one other thing that you said it was really important, and that was a first for you, and that was the thing that happened at church. You want to talk about that?
What? Excuse me?
What happened with at church, the nativity scene?
I was getting to that.
Okay.
Photos. Two of the other things that happened for me, but that were big that year, were I got 2 photos done that I consider like big turning points for us, a newcomer Santa. One was, as you said, Santa Bob. It happened when I went to visit the nursing home, and I had a couple minutes before I had to go in and visit with the residents, and I saw that they had this life-size nativity erected outside, and it was very beautiful. And the very second I saw it, I knew what I had in this exact moment. My mom, she was with me. She drove me to the nursing home, and I said, "Mom, take a picture of me." And she knew what I was wanting. So I went over and got into the perfect position. And before I knew it, I had my own picture of Santa standing before the nativity. Because that's a popular picture, Santa before the baby Jesus. And I considered this a big point in my, as being a newcomer Santa, having my own Santa standing before before the baby Jesus picture. And the other thing that happened picture wise was I was doing a Santa job at a community event here in Russellville, up at this little shack where kids would come and visit me. Excuse me. And this one family who came and saw me, they had with them this little Yorkshire Terrier puppy. This puppy that they had gotten that same day. And before I knew it, they had placed this little puppy in my arms and had taken my picture. And this was my very first pet photo with Santa. Because you hear Santas who have photos done with family dogs, cats, rabbits, guinea pigs, even snakes. And this was my very first ever Santa photo where I was holding a family's pet.
Very good. Just to let you know, I don't do snakes. But that's so cool.
Either.
That's so cool that you had that many first all in one season. So that kind of leads us into the next question, Lee. Have you started planning for your 2022 season? And are there any new things that you'd like to add to your portrayal, as in maybe props or new events or even certain types of gigs that you would like to do over others?
Okay. Answer the first part of the question. I'm always ready for Christmas. I'm always planning because I'm a constant Christmas addict. And yes, I have been preparing for this year. We've been preparing, me and my mom, we've been preparing to hold our giveaway. It's a me and her thing. She helps me out with my Santa career. I want to take this quick moment to thank her because she's helped me out in so many ways with my Santa work, and I am very grateful to her. And she and I, we managed the giveaway. And I'm actually in the process of saving up to buy this new Santa Claus suit that I will wear. The Santa suit that I've worn for all this time is one that I'm always going to wear. But being a Santa Claus, the Santa Claus that I am constantly adding on to my wardrobe. Santa suits, Santa accessories, and the Santa suit that I'm in the process of getting comes from Pro Santa Shop by Doug Eberhardt. And I'm currently saving up to purchase it. And I am making more of my these dolls, to give out to more people, to more kids, to more elderly people. I'm making a whole bunch more. I have 3 or 4 Santa bags full. No, not kidding. They're actually all in Santa bags. And I'm still at the process of making them. I think that's basically it. We are doing other things, but I can't really name them all right now. Because
I'm sorry, go ahead.
There's just that many. It's all I can't fully think of them right now because me and my mom, we think of all these ideas and it's hard for us to think of them one at a time. So
yeah, you have to keep a journal. But the sock monkey, I guess, is what you're calling the little stuffed gift that you give away. Those are super cool, man, and I love that idea. I'm excited to know that you've already got 3 Santa bags full. Keep up the good work there, my brother.
Yes.
Lee, let's go ahead and go to our viewers tonight and ask them if they have any comments or questions for you, or maybe some words of encouragement. And if you're watching this on replay, put those comments. You have comments or questions, put them in there, and we'll try to get them answered, as soon as we can.
And I would like to just apologize quickly because if I'm sounding nervous or repeating myself constantly, because this is my first time ever doing one of these podcast videos, and I was so excited about it that I sometimes lose my words.
You're doing great, man.
Okay.
You've really been doing great. We're proud of you, brother.
Okay. Thank you. That means a lot.
Anyway, there's been quite a few comments that Elf Angela has put up as we've been going along. I don't know if you took time to read them, but everyone has really sent out a lot of encouragement to you, and they had great words for you. I think everyone has embraced you as we have. We're excited for you. You got a long career ahead of you. Santa Marcus says, great job, Lee. That's one of them.
You're only, 21, Lee?
I'm 20. I turned 21. I turned 21 in August, but I am currently 20 years old.
And as far as the suit that you're talking about getting from Doug, those are fantastic suits. You can't go wrong with Doug's products. Randy Wagner, Randall Santa Checker Lee says, glad you're here. Doing a great job. Should be proud of yourself. And we second that motion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Any other questions or comments that anyone wants to put in? Ken Bishop says, Lee has the biggest heart and is a great friend. He must be a good friend of yours, Lee.
He is. He goes to my church, and thank you, Ken. That means a lot to me.
Bruce Templeton, who you had mentioned earlier that you have his book, Follow Your Calling, Lee. You were born to serve. That is true. You can tell that you were born to serve. I agree. Barry, you want to catch this one?
Yeah. Ken Smith. Okay, we're going back to keeps flipping around. John McDaniel. Good job, Lee. You're awesome. Ken Smith says the story of the grocery store was fantastic.
It was. I was touched by that one.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because I got to tell you guys, and we all know this if we performed before, it doesn't matter how you're dressed, what you look like, what you're doing. If a child sees Santa, they see Santa. They know instantly that. And there's so many times, I know some guys will respond by saying, wouldn't that be cool if I was? Or, they'll do the shh, or they wink and give a thumbs up or put their, finger next to their nose. There's different reactions, but we all have that feeling inside of us that we know that the Lord has sent that special child by at that moment to help lift us for the day.
I want to say that being Santa Claus, I feel that it's been my calling because I wanted to say this and get it out there. Santa Claus has not just been a role model to me. This is going to probably sound weird, but in my eyes, he's kind of like a father figure. He's somebody who's always been there for me. He is who that I've been wanting to grow up to be. And like, even though he's not like he's not the real Santa. He's not the Santa Claus who lives at the North Pole, works with the elves, has flying reindeer. He is the Santa Claus who is the spirit that is in all of you, Santa Bob, you Santa Barry, and Santa Tim Connigan, and Santa D. Sinclair, and Santa Bruce Templeton, Santa Cliff, all of you who are out there. You are who have inspired me to want to take on this job. And my only goal is to be as much like you guys as I can, with also mixing in my own Santa. And I'm just going to say it, make you all proud of me.
We are proud of you, buddy.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. All right, Barry, you want to move on?
Yeah, Lee, stay with us because at this point, before we close the show out, we have a segment called Santa's Point of View. We use this time to give out teaching tips from our past experiences.
Okay, Doc. I'm ready.
All right. And the point of view tonight is never be shy, even if you're a young Santa or old Santa, been doing it for a while. Never be shy about reaching out to other Santas for mentorship and help. A year ago, after we started this show, got a message from your mom, Lee, that said, "Hey, my son, he's young and he's aspiring to be Santa. He has a heart for Santa. Would you talk to him and be willing to help him?" And I've got to know you over this past year, and you're just an awesome man and human being, Lee. And I've come to love you and appreciate you. And I want to do something for you. We're going to give you a free scholarship and books to the Sat Bob School, either online or in person. That's taken care of. If you stay at a hotel, you'll have to take care of that. But we're going to give you a scholarship to our school, buddy. We love you.
Oh my God! I was not expecting that. Santa Barry, I don't know what to say. Santa Bob, same here. I am awestruck. I am totally.
Just embrace it, Lee. You're very worthy of it, and we all love to help guys getting started. And with the Sat Bob School, it's not just about the new guy, although a lot of our curriculum fits really well with the new guys. But even guys that's been doing it 2, 3, 5, 10 years. We had a gentleman this last year that had been doing Santa for 30 plus years, and he said he couldn't believe he hadn't taken the school before then. That he learned so much the weekend that he came to our class. So you're very worthy of it, and we're so proud to be able to do this for you.
And I just saw where Santa Courtney Lofton said he'll take care of your travel.
I know Santa Courtney and I have talked. He's in my contacts just like you are, Santa Barry. And Santa Bob, if you want to be in my contacts, then talk to Santa Barry, or you have my email. So
yes, I'm friends with your mother. I did accept her friend request, and so I have her that I can always contact with. But yes, sir, you bet you. And if anyone else would like to help Lee out with the hotel room and help, Courtney's going to help get him there to the school. It's just a small gesture, but gosh, we love helping the new guy. And this gentleman right here, he may be small, as we said, in stature, but you're not going to find a bigger heart than what Santa Lee has. And we're proud to call you brother.
And I guarantee you, people that's been Santa for years and years will learn something from you, Lee, in class.
I hope, just as I have learned so much from you guys and all of you Santas who are watching or not watching, I have learned so much and am learning more every day. And
I've got to add something to that. There's two things that really stood out besides the big heart, which shows immediately with Lee. Two things that stood out for me is how well you know Santa history, how many books you have read, how much time and energy and effort you put into your portrayal, and just again the heart that you have.
I cannot deny that I do. I have taken pride in it. Yes, I have taken a heart. It's hard. It's been hard, but I have done my best to learn as much as I can.
And we've been told that you have a ton of Santas, that you collect Santa figurines and other sorts, and that is super cool too. We all need a hobby. We all need something to collect. Can't find anything better than that to collect, believe me.
There are people out there. Sorry.
I was just going to say, unless it's gold.
There are people out there who collect baseball cards. I collect Santas. They are my baseball cards.
Pretty cool.
Yep.
All right, Barry.
You keep working hard and learning. And Lee, on behalf of my co-host Santa Bob and Elf Angela, thank you so much for taking the time to be on the Tuesday Night Live show with us and let our audience get to know you better. Stick around and we'll chat later in the green room, okay?
Okay.
That's right. You're going to stay with us on screen for now because we're fixing to jump in and announce our winners for the 2 trivia questions tonight.
Okay, go.
Here's your first winner, Santa Kevin. Paris is the correct answer to the McAllister's trip when they left Kevin behind. That is correct answer number 1. And on the Spangle question, Hansel and Gretel is correct. A little bit of a misspelling there. We get the understanding on that, Santa Marcus.
He corrected it.
Yeah, he came back and corrected it. But anyway, very good. Congratulations to both of you. If you both will please either PM me or PM Barry with your full mailing address. That way we can get it out to our sponsors and they can get your gift on the way.
Absolutely. And invite everyone to share and invite your friends to our weekly Tuesday Night Live broadcast and our Bob and Barry live preview show that we do on Mondays at 3 p.m., as well as both of our Facebook groups. You can find us at Santa and the Business of Being Santa and Sat Bob's Live.
That's correct. And remember, Spangle has this 6-week promotion going on where he's giving away a scholarship to his School of Santas in Branson this summer. And again, the requirements is simply share our feed. It can be live. It can be the recorded version. It doesn't matter. Just share, and be sure and put a like on it for us, please. Our show is really growing. It's taken off big time. Season 2. That's all because you guys are working so hard behind the scenes to help us. And we want to make it grow so that everyone can enjoy these shows that we work so hard to put on for everyone. And remember, in the comment box, either here and or on Santa and the Business Being Santa and or Set Bob's Live, just put on there that you did share it, and that way we'll know and we'll get your name in the hat. Anything else you want to add tonight, Barry?
No, just thank you all for being here with us tonight. And thankfully the tornadoes missed us. Maybe that was a false warning. I looked at the radar earlier and it wasn't, close to us, but our warnings did go off. So we're all safe here, just heavy rain.
Very good. So look for Spangle. He's out on the road this week. He's headed towards 7 or 8 more locations. If you get a chance, jump out, spend a few dollars with him and his mobile trailer. Trailer was expensive. The product that's inside of it. Help the man out if you can. Lee, my brother, thank you so much. We have absolutely loved this time with you tonight. We want to say that you are an incredible guest, and we hope that God continues to bless you and your mom, Melinda. Thanks to all of our sponsors. Again, Derek Dugan and Spangle the Clown. Thank you all for tuning in, giving us time. We know, as Barry says, your time is important. Thank you for supporting our show. Remember, you can catch the replay of this and every Tuesday night live show on both of our groups, Sat Bob's Live and or Santa and the Business of Being Santa. Remember to join us for our next Tuesday night live each week, 7 p.m. Central, same clause time, same clause channel. For Santa Bob, Santa Barry, F. Angela, and on behalf of Santa Lee, God bless, and thank you so much for joining us. See you on Bob and Barry Show on Mondays, 3 p.m., and Tuesday Night Live, 7 p.m. on Tuesday nights. What else you going to do on Tuesday night? Thank you so much.
God bless you, and we'll see you next week. Remember, we do this because we care. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.